Since the dawn of our species, we have lived under a biological ceiling. No matter how much wealth you amass, how many wars you win, or how healthy you eat, the human body has a hard expiration date. For thousands of years, that date was 30. Then 50. Today, in 2026, it's roughly 80. But what if I told you that the first person who will live to be 150 years old is already alive today? They might be sitting in a classroom, or they might be watching this video. We are currently living through the Great Decoupling, the moment in history where biological age and chronological age no longer have to match. We've stopped looking at aging as a natural inevitability and started looking at it as a disease. And like any disease, it can be treated. It can be slowed. And eventually, it can be cured. Welcome to FactsTube. Today, we're going inside the world of extreme biohacking to see how we are building the 150-year human. Chapter 1. The 9 hallmarks of decay. To fix a machine, you have to know how it breaks. In 2013, a landmark paper identified the 9 hallmarks of aging. If we can solve these 9 things, death, statistically speaking, becomes an option rather than a requirement. Let's look at the big 3 that biohackers are obsessed with right now. 1. Telomere attrition. Think of your DNA like a shoelace. At the end of the lace is a plastic cap called a telomere. Every time your cells divide, that cap gets shorter. When it's gone, the cell dies. Biohackers are currently experimenting with telomerase, an enzyme that essentially recaps the shoelace. 2. Cellular senescence, the zombie cells. As we age, some cells refuse to die. Instead, they linger like zombies, emitting toxic chemicals that inflame the healthy cells around them. This is why you get stiff joints and wrinkled skin. 3. Mitochondrial dysfunction. Your mitochondria are the batteries of your cells. Over time, these batteries leak acid and lose charge. When your cellular batteries die, you die. In 2026, we aren't just talking about these problems anymore. We are deploying the solutions. Chapter 2. The Billionaire's Lab. You've probably heard of Brian Johnson, the man spending $2 million a year to have the heart of a 37-year-old and the skin of an 18-year-old. But he's just the tip of the iceberg. In the hidden corners of Silicon Valley and Singapore, the longevity elite are using protocols that sound like science fiction. Young blood exchange, parabiosis, it sounds like a vampire movie, but it's a billion-dollar research field. Experiments have shown that when you link the circulatory system of an old mouse to a young mouse, the old mouse's organs begin to rejuvenate. While the FDA is cautious, private clinics are already offering young plasma infusions to the world's wealthiest 1%. The NAD+ revolution. There is a molecule in your body called NAD+ that repairs DNA. By age 50, you have half the NAD+ you had at 20. Biohackers are now bypassing the digestive system entirely, using IV drips and nanoparticle patches to flood their systems with NAD+ precursors, effectively telling their cells to revert to a younger state. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT. Imagine sleeping in a pressurized chamber where you breathe 100% pure oxygen. Research from Tel Aviv University showed that high-pressure oxygen can actually lengthen telomeres by 20%. For the first time in history, we aren't just slowing the clock, we are moving the hands backward. Chapter 3. The 2026 Breakthroughs, CRISPR and AI. Why is 2026 the turning point? 2 words: CRISPR and AI. For decades, we were limited by our factory settings, the DNA we were born with. CRISPR gene editing has changed that. We are now seeing the first human trials for in vivo gene therapy, where doctors inject a virus designed to rewrite your genetic code while you're still alive. Imagine injecting a patch that tells your body to stop producing the protein that causes heart disease. Or a patch that increases your muscle mass without you ever lifting a weight. This isn't theoretical, It's happening in labs right now. But the real MVP is artificial intelligence. In the past, discovering a new longevity drug took 10 years and $2 billion. In 2026, AI models can simulate billions of chemical reactions in seconds. AI has just identified a class of drugs called senolytics, compounds that specifically hunt down and kill those zombie cells we mentioned earlier. When you combine gene editing with AI-driven drug discovery, the 120-year lifespan doesn't look like a miracle. It looks like a math problem. Chapter 4. The ethical minefield. But here is the fact that nobody wants to talk about. If death becomes optional, who gets to live? If the 150-year human protocol costs $1 million a year, we risk creating a new biological class system. A world where the rich live for centuries, accumulating wealth and power indefinitely, while the rest of us expire at 80. Think about the implications. Career stagnation. If a CEO lives to 150, when does the 30-year-old get a promotion? Overpopulation. If nobody dies, but people keep being born, how does the planet breathe? The boredom factor. Is the human mind even designed to hold 150 years of memories? We are approaching a biological singularity. We are upgrading our hardware, the body, but our software, the brain and society, is still running on an ancient version. Conclusion. Can you live to 150? So, back to the big question. Can you make it to 150? The consensus among longevity scientists like Dr. David Sinclair is, the bridge. You only need to stay healthy enough for the next 10 to 15 years to reach the bridge of medical technology. Once you cross that bridge, AI and gene therapy will be advanced enough to extend your life by another 20. In those 20 years, technology will advance again, giving you another 30. We are the first generation in history that might actually outrun death. But tell me in the comments, if you could live to 150, but you had to stay at the age of 70 for the last half of it, would you do it? Or is there a beauty in the expiration date that we're about to lose? Don't forget to subscribe to FactsTube, because in a few years, we might be making videos for your 140th birthday.